Hey yo, what up? It's your girl Bewitched Faun, coming in with episode 16 of Faun's Horror Corner, a series where I watch a random horror movie on Tubi and we talk about it. This week I watched Cabin Fever Patient Zero from 2014. The description Tubi gave us was, an ultimate bachelor weekend in the Caribbean turns to horror as a flesh-eating virus and an evil secret medical team terrorize a group of friends. Now, this specific Cabin Fever movie I have seen before. Somehow when I binge-watched these movies like last year, I think, I completely managed to skip over the second movie. Thank God for that, am I right? But I did see this one, and I don't remember much, to be honest. But I can say that it wasn't anywhere near as bad as Cabin Fever 2 Spring Fever. Before starting, here are some warnings. This movie depicts a flesh-eating virus and is going to be gory, as well as there are flashing lights in some scenes, and I will try my best to state when these scenes start and stop, but viewer discretion, as usual, is advised. Now, let's get into the movie. We begin inside the secret medical facility. They're talking about the virus and the fact that they aren't sure how it reached the Dominican Republic. They're struggling to contain it, which is a mighty big problem to have. We learn about a group who were building shacks here and they all got infected, except for one. Now we're meeting Porter, who is a familiar face. That's Sean Astin, who defines generations by what you know him from. And for me personally, I know him as Samwise from Lord of the Rings. He's being held because for some reason he is the only person immune to the virus, and he has no other choice but to be kept here. Now we get the title card and we meet the main group. They're picking up one of their friends. This guy's fit gets roasted and they're late to this dude's wedding or some shit. Now we're at the event and this guy is getting his bone on and there's a toast. Marcus's brother Josh is in trouble for his outfit choice and is very shit-faced. We get a shopping scene, nothing crazy. Marcus gets a fun surprise. His friends and brother have planned one final hurrah for him before getting married. Marcus says goodbye to his fiancée and these two are being goofy, and now we're in a secret lab, and Porter is serenading these mice. But he has a visitor. She tries to be relatable, but he shuts that shit down real quick. They debate a bit, but ultimately, he's stuck there. They think they can get a cure for this disease out of Porter, but he just wants to speak to his wife. The doctor steps in and says she spoke with his wife and knows what's happening, and she is waiting for him. Porter tells the main doctor, Camilla, that he's not just a danger to himself, and that's where that conversation ends. This guy likes to dehumanize Porter and seems like an all-around douchebag. Porter found a sharp object and makes his hand bleed before his daily appointment. I don't know if I should say this or not, but Porter is kind of a badass. A person in hazmat walks in and Porter executes an ambush and gets underneath the mask and infects the worker. He's egging this guy on to shoot him, but it ain't happening. And now the facility is on lockdown for 48 hours. Nice. Men are being men. And now they're all shotgunning some bevs. Real talk, I am so fucking weak with alcohol. If I tried to chug that shit, I would straight vomit. I respect people who can do that. This group clowns on Marcus for his marriage choices, but now it's time for gifts. This one is from his brother, and oh my brother in Christ, this gives me war flashbacks to my old roommate. Now it's Penny's turn. There's a whole explanation, and it's a very sentimental gift, which is wholesome. But the real gift is a fuck ton of weed, which is very cool. Now there's tension because no one on this boat likes Marcus's choice of wife, which honestly, I don't know. Like, it's kind of fucked up, and I feel bad for Marcus. He gets dogged on so much over Kate and her family, and the tone isn't like silly haha. Like, these people just do not fucking like her. So I can't blame him for walking away, because they are being cunts. Penny follows him and chats. She says they're scared he's going to leave them behind. And now she's topless and he's clearly uncomfortable. He has some real talk about how Kate sees so much more to him than this group does. And Penny drops a bomb that she used to be that person. But they were young when they boinked and apparently it was just one summer and he clearly doesn't want this. So I kind of really hate everyone else on this boat. Marcus is alright. I feel bad for him. But Penny is even being disrespectful as fuck, and I just hate them all right now. A deserted island, not even on the map, is spotted, but strangely there's a building on the island. But the boat driver says nobody home, so it's okay. He'll pick them up tomorrow. They hit land and it's time to big chill. Josh and Penny are doing some diving. This guy can't set up a tent, and Marcus mentions that Kate's dad offered him a job at his firm. Dobbs doesn't like that because these two have a business together, I guess, and now he's mad at Marcus about it. And Marcus, understandably, is stressed and overwhelmed, and more importantly, this weed isn't gonna go anywhere. Back to diving. There is a strange lack of fish in the area, and it's all fun and games until they spot these dead and rotting fish nearby. The hazmat guy is having a really bad time right now. Penny is stressing the fuck out and wants out and tells them about the fish graveyard. She storms into the tent and Josh is getting clowned on by the stoner duo and he wants in. Penny is drying off and notices that her skin ain't looking so good. I wouldn't scrub too hard if I were you. Hazmat guy is having an even worse time and exorcist vomits on the wall. This guy acts like a mad scientist and wants Camilla to distract Porter, and Bridget is staying with him. Camilla chats with Porter, who has a tent now, while the main doctor visits the hazmat guy. Bridget brings up the fact that there's only one hazmat suit, which means whoever administers the shot gets the suit. Porter notices the distraction and calls it out. Camilla says they're just testing a viricide. Hazmat guy is strapped down, a bit too tight maybe, and gets the viricide injected. He's having a bad time and now Bridget has to hold him down and she gets vommed on right in the face. Very unfortunate for Bridget. She walks out and locks the main doctor in there as she runs to clean herself off. Can't even blame her. I'd lock him in there too, girl. Over to the stoner trio. They chat and now Josh is being summoned by Penny and he's ready to get some coochie. She's really not looking good right now and Josh thinks she's having an allergic reaction, but now he has a bad spot on his leg too, but he's pinning it on foreign weed. Clearly that's what it is. These two are on a stoner hike, which sounds like an awful idea. I would get so fucking lost. Josh brings Penny some Benadryl and he's trying to lighten the mood, which is sweet, and now he's putting lotion on her and it's time to get a little zesty, and he starts eating her cooter. I'm sure you can see where this is going. Marcus has some real talk and is having second thoughts about Kate, mentions a girl he had a fling with before and drops the bomb that it was Penny, and Josh doesn't know about their history. Dobbs is having a blast with this info. Penny coomed, and when Josh came up, it is fucking gnarly. To add insult to injury, he gets blood vommed on too. He runs out and the other two walk up and are shaken. Josh says he thinks Penny is sick. I mean, no shit, bro. Marcus tries to walkie for help, but the range isn't good and they have no cell service. Marcus mentions the structure on the island. Josh is going to stay and take care of Penny. Marcus and Dobbs are taking a hike to hopefully find people. Dobbs is giving Marcus shit about wanting to help Penny, which is fucking crazy because he saw the blood. Like, clearly she needs help. So why give Marcus shit about wanting to help her? Why is everyone here so insufferable? But Petty Dobbs finds the point of interest, more importantly. Josh checks in on Penny. She just wants to leave on the dinghy, but Josh won't leave his brother behind. Penny is being cunty, and Josh notices his skin isn't looking good either. Back to the duo. They're investigating. There's a bad smell, and no one seems to be around. Josh is shitting a brick and puts whatever that is on him. I am praying to God not hand sanitizer, because that would be actual torture. These two struggle to find a way in, but Marcus makes it work, busts a window, and now they have a way in. He walkies Josh to say that they found a way in, but there's no response. They're out of range. There's a lot of working technology inside, as well as power, but Dobbs got scared and pressed a button, and now they're locked in, and he is shitting an entire brick right now. Marcus investigates and finds a map as well as an axe, and now they continue their quest. Both Penny and Josh are having a very bad time right now. He keeps trying to walkie for help, and eventually someone responds, asking if it's a medical emergency. Josh gives them his location and mentions they have an outbreak, but it's okay, there's a doctor and a surgeon on this same exact island. If they can get to the facility, they'll have help ready for them, but Josh doesn't know the location of the facility. The duo is walking through the dark building and end up finding a bunch of blood on the floor. There's movement nearby and they're stepping over the blood to continue. Josh visits Penny and tells her the good news about the help and says it's time to get going. He grabs her arms and pulls her up, but he just pulls her skin clean off instead, and she vomits again. Josh leaves her to run for help, and she is having a bad time. The duo are calling for help in these underground tunnels. Flashing lights are ahead. They enter this kitchen and find a gory mess left behind. There's movement nearby, and they are scared shitless. Marcus slowly moves toward the movement, axe at the ready, and opens the door. But alas, it looks empty. But behind Dobbs is this fucked up guy with a gun, so that's fun. He starts shooting, and the two are hauling ass as he very slowly follows behind. Flashing scene over. They find a hiding spot and wait it out as he slowly follows their path and passes the door. They carefully exit the room and keep moving. Josh is on the run, looking worse for sure. The duo keep moving, but Dobbs has stumbled into a flooded hallway filled with deceased people, and he is understandably fucked up about it. Marcus tries to get him moving, but some creepy fucker is getting up and is moving towards Dobbs. That's all for now. Josh has found the facility. Good for you, bro. Dobbs is separated from Marcus and is guided by only a lighter. Marcus is fighting the infected man who gets an axe to the head. Dobbs is running and ends up meeting up with the armed infected. Marcus seems to have found a medical facility and finds a dead person on a gurney. Dobbs isn't having a good time, and the infected is ready to shoot and says it was supposed to be safe here, but he got inside. Dobbs tries to reason with him, but it ain't working. He pulls the trigger, but the force of the gun makes his arm come off and he just shoots himself instead. That was kinda silly, but okay. Dobbs decides it's a great idea to grab the gun out of the guy's head, and now he is armed with an icky gun. He keeps moving and meets with Josh, who asks about Marcus, who is still on the move through some caves. Josh wants to find Marcus so they can all find the doctor and help Penny. But Dobbs is uncomfortable with Josh's appearance and says, nah, stay away. But Marcus has found them, and he is mad that Dobbs locked him out. They're all fighting and turning against each other. Dobbs tells Josh that Marcus fucked his girl, and the drama is getting worse. Dobbs gets elbowed in the face, and now they're all just cool again, I guess. Dobbs presses a button, and this big door opens up for them. They all walk in and find this girl. She tells them there's a power outage, and Dr. Edwards is in the ICU, but Camilla comes up and warns them about this girl. She's carrying a very lethal strain of the virus. Camilla tells Bridget to remove the mask and show them your skin. Thus she does, and yeah, that's fucking bad. Marcus wants to see Dr. Edwards, and now they're moving again. We're inside our familiar quarantine zone. Dr. Edwards gets released alongside Porter, but the drama continues. Porter says Dr. Edwards is going to take your boat and dip rather than help. Everyone is turning on Dr. Edwards, and his gun gets taken away from him. Dr. Edwards is a bigger douche idiot than we ever thought. To summarize, it seems like Dr. Edwards wanted the virus to get out so he could be the big savior who creates and distributes the vaccine so he can get all the glory. Marcus wants out, and Camilla is telling him that's stupid because we're risking a massive outbreak, and they need to make this facility self-destruct. Josh and Bridget are going to get over to Penny. Dobbs is going to keep watch on Dr. Edwards, and Marcus, Porter, and Camilla are going to initiate self-destruct. Josh and Bridget are moving. Josh isn't doing good, and Bridget takes his ass out and runs. The trio stumbles into this contamination roadblock, and Porter takes initiative to move through it and turn his wheel. Dobbs and Edwards are moving as well, and points out that Dobbs is clearly infected, and he tells him about the different stages. He says he needs to assess him so he can help him through it to survive. He looks at his arm, punches him, and takes the gun, and says his condition is fatal. Porter turns the wheel and inputs a code into the keypad, and now the self-destruct is armed, and it's time to get the fuck out. Bridget has made it to the beach, and to the boat, and now Penny is emerging and finds her. Penny questions Bridget as she moves closer. She tries to charisma her way out, but clearly they are both infected, and now there's an infected catfight, and they are literally ripping each other apart. After a long fight, Bridget's arm breaks off, and Penny beats her in the face with a giant black dong, and now Penny looks down for the count too. The trio is on the move outside the facility. Marcus trips on a deceased Dobbs and sees he's been shot. He calls for Josh, but more bad news is ahead as he finds Josh too. And now he's really mad, and Camilla tries to help, but he's out for revenge. He looks around for Edwards and finds the gory mess left behind from the girl fight, but Edwards was ready and clocks Marcus. He tries to reason, saying Marcus can't leave. He's probably infected. Marcus gets up and Edwards shoots him. He goes on a rant and Camilla stays defending Marcus. Edwards uses Porter's wife as a token of protection. Camilla says his wife is already dead. A shot is heard, and Porter has shot Edwards in the neck, rightfully deserved. Edward tosses a final insult as he dies, and the facility explodes as the group starts walking away. Camilla is calling for help over the walkie, and the captain is confused as fuck, understandably. It's a new day, and Porter offers these two some water, and then gets some fresh air. They chat while staying hydrated, and Marcus mentions pictures of mice he saw in the bunker, as well as the fact that the virus started with a mouse. And Camilla is looking a bit shaken, reminded of Porter singing Three Blind Mice. Then she puts the pieces together. Porter infected the water, and now a shot is heard on the boat, and they find where Porter infected the water. They run out, but it's too late. The captain is dead, and Porter is nowhere. Marcus asks why infect them. Camilla says it's because they're the only ones who know who he is. They're already infected, and the boat has been shot, and Porter took the dinghy. And now these two are stuck here to die, and Porter made his getaway. And that's it. That's the movie. Let's get into my afterthoughts. This movie was a wild ride, absolutely way more enjoyable than the previous, which wasn't hard to do, but still. While this wasn't perfect, it was still absolutely very fun to watch, and Sean Astin was a fucking badass in it. He really stole the show. This was my first time seeing him in a proper horror role, and his range is honestly astounding. But let's get into my talking points. What did I think of the story? All around, it really wasn't that bad. I found it pretty intriguing seeing both sides of the story, medical versus unknowing group. However, I don't know if we have a clear starting point for the virus though. All they really said was it was discovered on a mouse and it seemed like it just got out of hand. But we still don't know much about the origin, which is kind of unfortunate. What about the ending? I mean, holy hell, Porter is a fucking badass. I know I shouldn't be rooting for the villain, but what a character. A true cabin fever ending in my book. I mean, they kept the tension right until the very end and didn't ruin it with an out of place stripper scene, so that's a pretty solid solid ending in my book. Really couldn't have been any better. Overall thoughts? I thought it was a unique take on the series. While the side characters in the main group were absolutely fucking insufferable, it didn't ruin the movie for me. I still found myself invested, and I think this film handled the growing dread far better than the previous. The humor was hit or miss at best, but again, it still didn't ruin it for me. It's not like that was the focal point throughout the movie, so it's okay. I mean, I really think this was enjoyable and an actually good addition to the Cabin Fever series. While some scenes were a bit silly, like the guy who shot and then it went into his fucking head, that was a little silly teehee. But I don't know, I still thought it was fun. Favorite kill? I mean, come on, the infected girl fight was kind of iconic. I was here for it. Best and worst character? Porter takes best. I wouldn't have expected to be rooting for the villain, but he was played so well that I couldn't help but root for him. Worst character? Probably Josh. He just really didn't have any substance behind him at all. He was probably my most disliked in the main group. As for the tier list, I think I'll settle putting this on A tier. It's not fully on par with the original Cabin Fever, but I still enjoyed it, and I consider it a worthy addition to the series. I would definitely watch it again when I'm in the mood for a Cabin Fever binge in the future. And Character Hall of Fame, I mean, no one really made it on from this movie, but that shouldn't come as much of a surprise. No one really stood out, and while Porter was cool and very well acted, I don't think I totally want to put him on Hall of Fame. Well, that's all I got. Thank you for watching if you're still here. I upload these every Saturday around 12 p.m. as long as life doesn't get in the way. So if you enjoy, then feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. Do what you want. I can't tell you what to do. My socials are down below, as well as the link to the movie so you can watch it yourself and form your own thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think if you decide to watch it. Next week, we will cover the next movie in the series, Cabin Fever, which appears to be a remake of the original, so I guess we'll see how that one goes down. Thank you one more time for watching. Stay safe and spooky, y'all.